Alright, hello everyone and welcome. My name is Speed, welcome to NotSoSpeedRuns. We're here with 6 and 20 Metropolis. We are back in our game of City of Mist. It's been a week since we last tried, but a few weeks since we had our last full episode. So here's hoping that nothing goes terribly wrong in the technicalities of this game. In terms of the actual story of the game, anything can go wrong. Who cares? It's probably going to and will. But let's go ahead and not waste any time and get started by going around to our cast, starting with the wonderful Metamancer.
Hi guys, I'm Metamancer. I play Morrigan. I have no idea what's going to happen for her right now. Things are kind of up in the air. I think we're going to see a lot of other character development though, which is good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to us getting into the story today, hopefully.
Excellent. And let's go over to Trendane. Trendane, who the hell are you playing? We have no idea.
It's okay. Neither does anybody else. So yeah, I'm Trend Sparks, and I'm a voice actor personage, and I am playing Herbert Harding, who we might actually, maybe learn some more about today. But if we don't, it's fine. Okay, it's fine. I am. What?
I'm dying. I'm dying to know. I'm dying to know more.
I know. You.
God.
It's fine. I'm dying to have more of it get out as well.
Aren't you the GM? Shouldn't you know all this already?
What do you think I actually do here? I got you guys running around in this big sandbox, and then occasionally I don't even roll some dice. I just kind of say, hey, this comes up, and you guys kind of do stuff.
You don't read our backstories?
Yes.
I think that was a perfect handoff, by the way. Please feel free to continue.
Go ahead. Give
I
him time.
turned around for you to finish.
Okay. I was like, well, he's already going. Let him go.
That's why I turned around in disgust. And
I see.
Would you like to leave in disgust, or would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm too tired to leave, so I'll introduce myself. Hi, I'm McLoken. I'm a wonderful broadcaster here on Twitch, which I announced last night. That's going to be my partnership's ending 2 days. So yeah, big news. So yeah.
Wait, what? What happened?
Oh, I canceled my partnership with Twitch.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I probably told you this last week, but your internet kept probably going out, and then you missed the conversation.
Yep, sounds right. Because you
I'll have to bug you later. Anyways.
So basically, yeah, that's what I've been doing. I don't know. I'm playing Johnny today, and I forgot where we left off. So I know what I said to Morrigan. I said I wanted to go see the arcade game to see if it's relatable to the dream, the dream fight she had over the summer, yeah, because the Timothy McCracken of the McCracken clan. He's
the clan McCracken.
Yeah, he's a Highlander. Yeah, and then I think we're gonna go see Herbert. I don't remember. That's why I need a recap. Also, my brain, I'm shot today. Like, I was at work, like midway through work, I was just like, boom. It's like, so I have a monster. I'm gonna fucking be a trooper and get through this, but.
Excellent.
Hello, puppy.
And oh my God, that
look
cat.
at all those chickens.
What the? Chickens?
Yeah, that's our pet chicken, Rocket. You're not looking at.
You gotta.
I'm seriously confused. No, I just you call your cat chicken. I have a cat that I call.
No, they call
pig.
them. They call their chicken Rocket. Did you not listen to what he just said?
Do you remember the Vine meme way back in the day where it's like the little girl and she's looking at all the ducks in the field, and she turns to the camera and she's like, "Look at all these chickens," and it's the most adorable thing ever. And sometimes I periodically just call random animals chickens.
Loke, do you think I was that cool? Do you think I actually participated in Vine at that point?
I mean, I didn't, but I mean, there's still fucking funny videos still on YouTube. Go watch Best of Vine, 10 minutes. You're like, oh, cool. I got caught up on Vine.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to be a cool kid like one of the youngins these days, that's what they do. They watch Vine compilations on YouTube. Or so
because
I guess.
Because Instagram stories suck? Is that what you're saying?
What's an Instagram story?
I don't know anymore. I feel out of the loop sometimes when people tell me they're like, oh, like what they came out with fucking Vimo or what the fuck was that amp, and like everyone had it, and then Vero, that's what it was. And
Vero, that was just fake. That was just like everyone's hopping on the train because they don't want to miss it, and then everyone hates the train and leaves. Anyways, I'm Speedy. I'm playing as Giovanni, the bartender, who's probably going to go to jail soon because he is a home invader also, apparently. And we'll see what happens next. And to see what happens next, I will turn things over at this point to our MC Johnny, VideoStoreCowboy, to do some things. Also retweet the tweet or whatever.
Yeah. So I have one quick question, and I know we're going to be a little pressed for time tonight, but I have this one final question. Technically, are you a home invader? Because you didn't technically do any of the things that involve invading a home. You just appeared.
I didn't break, but I did enter.
But it's breaking and entering. I think that's
correct. So no crime was committed.
No crime was committed.
But I would say I probably invaded the home still.
Okay.
In the same way that I can invade your personal space without touching you or breaking through a literal bubble.
And now I'm thinking of that scene in Dirty Dancing where this is my space. Okay, you're gonna get me. I'm gonna get this. We're not going on a tangent. I'm just starting. Okay.
Because my internet just froze for a second, and that was terrifying.
I saw the stream freeze in the corner. I'm like, oh no.
Shit. All right. So, rather than do the previous on narration, only a couple things happened. Previous to that, you guys had a little adventure into this sort of underground thing where you were dealing with Gio's dead girlfriend. Morrigan reversed time and just kind of reset things. Gio had died. Johnny was like 25 feet tall. Morrigan was being a badass and killed a god, kind of a thing. I saw that smile. And Herbert was just in his house going, okay. But after that, you all had come back, and Johnny had found out a little bit of information about a new event that was happening at the arcade. Timothy McLoken, very famous video game superstar, was going to be coming and competing at the arcade. This sparked Johnny's interest, and he started doing a little bit of research, found out that Johnny is very good at a vintage video game called Leviathan Hunter. Some details were revealed about that. Meanwhile, Morrigan had received a note from Egg Shen that she should go and contact essentially Herbert, and Herbert had received a note from Egg as well that the reverse should happen. Gio, meanwhile, after the events of the underground adventure with Naomi, decided to go and pay a visit to Herbert since he had this new amazing ability to just kind of appear someplace in a scene, and it works really well with his character, his mythos actually, and scared Herbert enough that Herbert called the cops, and now the cops are now interested in Gio and the circumstances of who he is and what's going on. And so I believe where we were fading back into as we were having internet issues, or I was having internet issues last week. It was Morrigan and Johnny deciding what they were going to do next, and I believe they were going to the arcade before heading off to go find Herbert. that sound about right, guys?
We were gonna go to see Herbert first and then the arcade.
Okay. All right. So then let's go ahead and fade into that. I think we'll start. We'll fade into, I guess, Morrigan's car with Johnny in the passenger seat.
Yes. We arrive eventually, I guess, at the residence of Herbert.
When can I drive?
Never. You will never drive my car.
That's pretty mean.
Why would you drive my car?
I have my license, you know.
That's absolutely beside the point. Unless I am dying, there is no chance of you driving my vehicle.
I hope this is not foreshadowing.
Right.
Which house is it?
This one with the, I think, the sculptures.
Herbert, do you want to describe the little state or the little
The locality?
the locality? Thank you. That's the great way to describe it. Thank you.
Okay. It's a small kind of classic Victorian home. It's right on the edge of the old quarter in the blue collar district. It's a corner lot, so it's kind of at a T intersection. And behind the house is one of those drainage ditch wash culvert things that like a little river goes through all the time. But there's kind of a veranda that goes most of the way around the front of the house, and there's the second story, and there's a bit of a widow's walk on the roof. There are probably two large statues in the sculptures in the front lawn. One could be a swan. It's really not extraordinarily good. I mean, you can tell it's definitely some kind of a waterfowl, but it's kind of crude. And the other is just sort of a nouveau chic expressionistic thing that doesn't really. And then there's a couple, like there's a very just amazingly detailed turtle sitting in the middle of on the edge of a dried pond that's got like some dead leaves and shit in it. And then like there's a sort of a seasonal thing, like there's I don't remember what month we're in. I mean, it's winter, right? Or fall.
Winter's coming.
So there's
It's
probably
autumn.
like
Yeah, it's fall. It's absolutely fall.
okay, so there's probably a sort of a crude cornucopia with, you know, pumpkins that look like they were maybe made by a 3rd or 4th grade class. They're not real good, but you can tell what they're supposed to be. And as you get closer to the house, you can hear music inside, and apparently someone is playing Lone Digger by Caravan Palace very, very loudly inside.
Question, Johnny.
Answer, Loke.
Is this a place of business?
Would Herbert have registered a business out of this location? I mean, he is a famous sculptor, or he produces sculptures for different people. So would it be registered as a business?
It is his home and his studio where he does his work.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's not like an office building.
No, I know, but like it's a like mom and pop shop. So it's possible that Herbert would know my parents, possibly, since he's in the blue collar district and owns his own business. So if they have like, I don't know if they have like a business association bullshit. I don't know.
Yep. There would be.
So it's possible that I don't think Johnny would know, but Herbert might know Johnny's parents.
He may know of them, but
Yeah.
he's not real big on video games, and he's a bit of a recluse. So he probably doesn't. I mean, he's never met them for sure, but
Yeah.
through the business bureau, he probably knows of them.
So yeah. And it doesn't look like there's not like a sign in the front. There's not like Herbert statues, buy 2 get 1 free.
No, nothing like that. But when you get to the door, there is a small placard that that has his name. Herbert Harding, sculptor.
Oh, well, he's a sculptor.
Yeah, I don't really know why Egg sent me here. Guess only one way to find out.
Maybe he can sculpt the bad out of Detective.
After what I've seen, I would not be surprised. So,
Do you think he's like one of us?
probably. And she rings the doorbell.
There's probably a good 3 or 4 seconds pause before the music turns down, and you can see through the stained glass door that there's movement inside, and there's something kind of raspy that is probably something like "just a second," and through the silhouette you can tell that he's putting his coat on and gloves and whatnot, and
That reminds me of Cal.
getting his hat and his mask and stuff on, and eventually he comes over and very slowly opens the door, and he is just yes, and it's very dusty inside, very, very dusty.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Morrigan. I think we met briefly, sort of met earlier. But I'm here because Egg, who I think might be a mutual acquaintance, has sent me here. I don't really know why specifically.
You're here because of an egg?
No, that's his name. Well, nickname.
Wait, you were there this morning.
Right.
Is the other one with you? Or is he already in here again?
What other
What?
one?
That friend of yours with the
Oh, Gio?
Oh, me?
I didn't know he was here.
I haven't seen him since.
I walk out from behind a pillar behind you.
Wait, are you actually serious right now?
I can do that.
But are you doing it?
Yeah, are you?
Yes.
You're at the Queen of Hearts for night right now. Remember that. So that, and there were circumstances around that. So are you entering the scenes officially?
Yes.
Shit. Okay.
Are you entering the scene as you just described, walking out from behind a pillar behind me?
Yes.
Okay. Excuse me, I need to go get my phone. And he immediately heads for the kitchen. Grabs
Can we wait
rolling
just a
pin,
second for
grabs
that?
the phone, hits 9, and it's like, what?
What just happened?
Yeah, I'm not sure. First of all, I don't know why Gio's in your home.
Neither do I. And he points the rolling pin at Gio's like, you out.
Gio, maybe.
You know, I thought this was a
trespassing
good
is not
idea.
A good way to do this.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'll leave.
You should probably apologize to the nice man.
Sorry, sir. Carry on with your day. I leave. Through the front door this time.
I have so many questions.
Yes, you
So do
know.
I.
Well, I guess we'll deal with that later.
He puts the phone down, but does not put away the rolling pin. He's still got that rolling pin in his hand.
Right. So that was Gio. I don't know even where to start with that, so I'm just going to move right past it. And you were about to say something, I think.
Yeah, when was he able to start teleporting?
What?
I thought I was just saying we're moving past, so we're here, and that's where Gio is. Now we're going to just move right past that, okay? So it's just...
Oh, I'm sorry. I was still stuck on... Okay.
Okay.
So Herbert grabs his note from Eggshen and brings it to the door because he hasn't invited you two in yet.
No. She wouldn't enter unless she was...
I figured not. flips it over and is like, this egg?
Yes.
Who is it?
Well, I really don't know how to describe him. He's been helping me with a health condition of a friend. And we've kind of come up against a little bit of a wall, so to speak. Plateau.
Why does he think that a sculptor can help you with this?
I have no idea. If I'm being real honest with you. Would have been nice if there were like directions included or something.
Can you sculpt the bad out of people?
Oh my god, that's ridiculous.
I don't know.
What?
Do you have special abilities?
And he turns and looks back at a couple of pieces that are in the studio, which is like the main entry room / living room, and most of them are very meh, but there is a half a statue of a shark that looks like the tail has broken off. And there is a statue, an unbelievably beautiful woman, just right in the middle, and it's nothing like any of the other crap that he makes. Crap, whatever the fuck. And he's like, I make art.
Oh, there's some nice pieces. That's good. I'm not an artist, psychologist, criminal profiler, that whole thing. Not relevant to art whatsoever. So you don't have any experience with like weird symbols and curses or anything like that? Even just for artistic perspective?
No.
Okay, what about really weird islands with lights in the middle of them for no reason?
And guarded by giant octopuses.
Krakens.
Octopi.
Why'd you say krakens?
I'm just saying it's the mythological term.
Technically, an octopus and a kraken are different creatures, but never mind.
Obvious.
If it's a giant octopus, is it not considered a kraken?
No.
Okay. Octopus. Giant octopus. That's really mean.
I still don't know why you said kraken. I don't like that.
Kraken is also a rum, so you don't like rum? Well, you're a kid, never mind. Moot point.
Do you have any way to get in touch with this egg?
I know where he lives / works / vehicle that he uses to get around that I make. No.
Wait, can I ask a question? What's your note say?
And he hands it to Johnny, and it basically says whatever it was that. Oh, it basically says that like a mutual or a friend of his needs my particular
Help.
set of skills to
Yes.
to help take care of a friend's problem.
Right, and left it was just the address of Morrigan's downtown office / apartment setting now.
That's my address. So how are you supposed to help me?
Do you have any special abilities? It said skills. What are your skills? What?
He points back. He's like, I make
Jesus.
art.
Well, I understand that, but like, do you make art with like your mind, or are you very fast at doing it, or like, hold on, do you have something heavy I can move?
Like a piano?
Sure.
No.
Oh, and what about a heavy statue? Because there's all over the place.
I would really prefer that you didn't go shifting my statues around.
Well,
Okay.
That's why I asked. I didn't say I was just gonna do it.
I appreciate that. You're certainly much more polite than the other guy.
That's the first time I've seen him do something weird like that. So I still have 1,000 questions about that. But like, I'm trying to think.
I can fly. That's a thing. That kind of thing. That's what he's getting at.
Is there a rock around?
There's probably pebbles on the ground, I'm guessing.
Sorry. What kind of a rock? Are you talking about a boulder?
Not like a boulder, like just like a normal rock.
Sure, there's probably there's probably a normal hand-sized rock probably around on the ground. Maybe even potentially a piece of one of Herbert's sculptures that might have broken off to you.
Very particular about his sculptures. I'm not touching his fucking sculptures.
About the whole sculptures, yes, he is. But like, and he goes back, is about to pick up maybe a this big sized chunk that has apparently come off of a thing, and he stops it. Why don't you two come inside?
Oh, okay.
Right.
What did it do? It's marble.
Yeah. So it's like I'm not trying to sound like a magician, but like you gave it to me. It's like really marble.
Yeah.
And
Hold on. Before you do anything, Johnny, is it okay if this is not returned to you in the piece that you found it in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Then Johnny just breaks it and then like crumples like the two pieces, like to make sure there's like no ricocheting pieces. And he's like, I'm like super strong and durable.
Yeah.
Herbert looks genuinely terrified and takes a step back.
Well, I'm not gonna hurt you. That's why I'm okay.
How in the hell did you do that?
I don't know. I've always been able to kind of do it. Do you ever read comic books?
No.
You ever heard of Superman?
We got a better one. Greek mythology, heroes, gods, etc., superpowers kind of thing. Not necessarily myths.
Would Morrigan use Greek mythology as the example? Just out of curiosity, given her background? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Regardless.
Because Latin studies and all that, so.
Fair enough.
And
Okay.
as an artist, he would have studied a lot of stuff. Anyway, so
Sure.
regardless of the descriptor, he's like, what?
I know. Kind of weird.
And he starts sidestepping towards the bar
Yep, totally. Pour me one if you don't mind. That'd be good.
and reaching, just the breakfast bar, the pass bar between the living room and the kitchen.
There's
and,
food.
and grabs the phone that he just sat down. I think I might like you two to leave. I shouldn't have invited you in. I don't know what kind of a game you're playing, but this is crazy.
It's not a
There's
game.
no such thing.
Right. Okay.
I don't. What else would you like to see?
I would like to
No,
see
I don't think he
you
wants
leave
to
my
see.
home.
Okay.
Johnny, can I have a private word with Herbert, please?
Okay, I'll go outside because he's scared of me. So bye. He just goes out the door.
He kick you out too?
Stand.
I scared him.
Yeah, so did I.
Well, and it's gonna freeze frame because I have 1,000 questions for Geo. He's probably asking while we're outside, like, "How'd you do that? Where is it? You never displayed your powers before. What are you doing?" Okay.
By the way, I want to hear that conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, so do I.
So, I understand that this might be an overwhelming amount of information, but I don't believe that Egg would say that we can help each other somehow, or that you can help me without actually meaning it. So maybe there is, if you come to my office, if you'd like, my patient is there. He's not very responsive. He's in some kind of a catatonic / energy draining state. I kind of sort of know the reason for it to a degree, but we haven't been able to find a cure or remedy. So if Egg thinks that you could somehow help, then you're kind of my last hope here, so to speak.
I sympathize. I really do. I have never met anyone named Egg. I don't know where this note came from. I have no idea who this person is or what they're talking about. My talents are for chiseling stone and marble and for shaping clay with my fingers, not with just... I don't know what this Egg person is talking about, and I don't know how I can help you. I appreciate the fact that the three of you helped me this morning, but I don't know what you're talking about. And the shit that that kid can do is fucking terrifying, and it's not possible.
Okay. How are you with mythologies? I can't explain what that is. And that whole thing, plus Geo and everything else, is honestly my least of my concerns right now, because my friend is dying. And I'm going to exhaust every last possible thread that I have. So could I show you some pictures of the symbols, at least, before I leave?
Yeah, maybe I saw something in art studies or something. Yeah, okay, fine.
Cool. So I grab my phone and I show him the pictures that I've been taking of the symbols that have appeared over time.
They appear vaguely familiar.
There's I don't know, this one, I may have seen this one somewhere before. I might have been in a book when I was studying classic sculpture techniques. Maybe it might have been before that. I can't lock onto it. Is it? But it's not Roman. It might be. It might be maybe Celtic or maybe Gaul. No, it's older than this could be Babylonian. Some kind of a cuneiform, I think. Or but this part of it over here has to do with not stitching, binding someone to something. I think.
Yes, the binding thing sounds very familiar to what Eggshen had said.
So he already knew this?
No, he said it was some kind of like tether, so to speak, but we don't know the cure or the remedy. I thought I had the note of the mythology, by the way, and I cannot find it again. I thought I found it just now, but I didn't. What was the name again that you gave me, Johnny?
Which name was that? Sorry, say that again.
Of the mythology that I discovered. I thought I had it right here, but I can't find it.
Oh shit! God, that was almost a month ago. God,
Yeah,
let me go back looking through my notes. Anyways, continue to see, and I'll find
Okay.
a reference to it.
Is there any recollection of like a legend about it, or a myth, or any stories?
I don't think so. Well,
What about like Aztec Mayan thing?
that's a completely different continent. I mean, there are a lot of amazingly strong similarities between the two cultures, and both in their art and their architecture. But I don't know of any stories that are similar between the two. The easiest way to deal with a tether is to cut it, but I don't know how to do that. Except maybe, like with a knife.
Okay.
I mean, it sounds like this egg guy knows at least as much as I just told you. I don't know why he would send you to me.
So you don't like know what these specific symbols mean or anything like that?
You ever had one of those dreams that you wake up from, and even months later, maybe years later, you can remember teeny tiny little details from it, but you can't grab a hold of the whole memory to be able to get it? That's kind of what this feels like. It's like something I saw in a book when I was studying something 20 years ago, and I just can't quite grab it.
Okay, well, I have all these notes from Egg. Could you just look them over, maybe?
I'm not doing anything else right now. Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
You can leave your two freakish friends just standing out in the...
They shouldn't be inside here, so...
I agree.
I can tell them to wait for me somewhere else, if you'd like.
No, they're fine out there. I just... Maybe you might want to tell them what we're doing.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Back to Johnny and Gio. Talking about teleportation.
And you're muted, John.
So we'll cut back to Johnny and Gio as Morrigan is helping spread out the notes for Herbert for him to examine.
Hey, I thought you went to work and then you're coming from pillars. Are you following us? Can you teleport now? What's going on?
Well, I couldn't tell you that, Johnny. That would ruin the secret.
Choose your next words wisely. There's no secrets between sailors.
Are either of us sailors, Johnny?
Why are you talking about sailors?
A magician never shares his tricks.
Are you a magician?
Why are you talking about magicians?
Do you make drinks disappear?
No, it's usually the people I serve them to that do that.
So,
I make them and they disappear. But...
so so you can just show up anywhere now.
It's not so much. Yeah, let's go with that. I got my ways in and around things, and listen, sometimes I just show up when I'm needed. Or when I'm not needed, as in this case, apparently.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, you made everything like 20 times worse.
I mean...
Why was he... Did you do this before?
Yes, I may have.
Did you walk into his house unannounced?
Walk may not be the best of terms.
Did you run in?
I made my way in.
Excuse me for you and Morrigan giving me lectures about how to act like a decent human being. That is fucked up. Don't walk into people's houses unannounced. What if I came into your house unannounced?
Can I just remind everybody that it was Johnny who broke into somebody's apartment and then stole our safe? And
No.
all right.
I've relinquished my name from that crime and have turned my life around of crime.
Right, doing illegal crime, fighting.
You're not there. Leave me alone, okay?
Well, she actually kind of shows up because she's like letting you know what's going on. So
Yeah. So, any interesting developments?
He can teleport.
Yeah, I got that much. Cool. Flying, punching, teleportation. No problem.
Did you, what's the deal with Herbert? Did he kick you out too?
No, he doesn't like either of you. He's currently looking over the notes that Egg gave me, working on Derek's condition. Yeah, he's terrified of Johnny, and he just straight up doesn't like you, Gio, so... I think I'm winning in this case right now as far as good citizens go. Just want to put that out there.
Oh, yeah, and murder's always, good citizenship.
Are we still on that? It's been months.
I'm trying to sell
since I've done anything like that.
And
in fact, I'm holding all the oppressed feelings for one particular individual who I will probably murder. It felt good to say that out loud.
So, none of us are good people.
Right.
I don't
you're
like
really
you
any
guys.
good people anyway, though. I mean,
Yes?
it's very subjective.
You guys are very depressing.
How is anything I just said depressing?
Is there not? There is good people.
I'm saying the word good is subjective based on cultural and societal norms. So technically, right.
Is he expecting you back inside, or?
Yes.
What?
I'm letting you know that you should not come inside. And if you do, I will take your guts out of your stomach and wrap them around your neck and hang you by them if you interrupt progress that I might make to help Derek. Just putting that out there.
I would like to add, I don't think you could rip out my guts.
Don't test me, Johnny. So please continue your discussion about teleportation or whatever it is. Once this is done, then we'll go to the arcade and figure out that whole McCracken or whatever person is.
Okay.
With Leviathan. Maybe catch Gio up on the latest happenings with that.
Yeah. What?
Oh, well.
Arcade machines, bye.
Also, do you think it would be possible for me to teleport into your stomach to rip out your guts? Not that I would ever do that. That's Morrigan's thing. However.
Well, okay. Do it.
And that's where we're going to cut back to Morrigan cutting it.
Of course. So they're staying out there.
Yes.
What did you say your name was again?
Morrigan.
Right.
Dr. Kane.
Well, he kind of cranes his neck and some powdery dust pours down his chest. Brushes it off and sweeps it off the notes. As near as I can tell, this egg guy seems to be talking about finding some way to pause or isolate or freeze the condition until the source, presumably whatever's at the other end of this tether, this symbol is talking about can be rectified or dealt with in some way. But I still don't know what that has to do with me. I mean,
okay, I'm gonna say something real crazy, and just take a deep breath, open mind. Can you turn people to stone? Or, I know, me saying it out loud, it's even worse than in my brain, but...
Yeah.
Oh!
I mean, yeah, it sounds even worse when you say it out loud to me than when you simply think it, and that is fucking crazy.
Okay, I figured I'd ask.
I take pieces of rock and I turn them into this thing. I don't turn people into stone. That is not possible.
Okay. I mean, I figured I'd ask. I've seen some weird things in the last few months, so... Well, shit. Cool. I am sorry to have bothered you.
No. You didn't bother me. You're freaking me out a little bit, but you didn't bother me. They bothered me. Well, the kid freaked me out a lot.
Yeah.
The other guy, he bothers me.
Yeah. I can see that being a problem. Well, I will ask them to not impose themselves, especially Gio. If you need anything, let me know. Here's my card if you need to call or something. Or if you remember anything, if anything comes to mind regarding the situation.
In the last 20 minutes, I've seen some really freaky shit, but I pray I'm not going to have to call a criminal psychologist.
Yeah. I wear many hats these days, so. Is there anything I can do for you before I leave?
And he starts gathering up all the notes and everything and reorganizing them and putting them together and shaking the dust out from between all the pages and whatnot, gathering them back up and handing them to him. No, I don't think so. I hope your friend gets better.
Me too. Thank you.
Sorry, I don't know what this guy's talking about.
If you change your mind, I'm pretty much there all the time. And if I'm not, my resident doctor is there as well.
And I got your card, so.
Yeah. Great.
And so he'll escort her to the door.
Have a good night. Best of luck with your sculptures.
Yeah. Thank you.
Walks over to Johnny and Gio.
As the door is closing, just a bit of stink eyes. He's
Bye.
closing the door just to make sure that Gio doesn't slip in through the sliver of door.
Gio's gonna teleport in my stomach.
That does not sound like a great idea for either of you, actually.
Well,
But at this
if
point,
he
I mean, what does it matter anyway, right?
if he fails, I get a meal. But if he fails, I become a cannibal.
Right. Can we do this not in front of this poor man's house? So he doesn't have any more traumas today? That would be great.
He is definitely near the window. He is watching to make sure you guys leave.
Yeah.
Well, let's go.
But he has his phone in his hand.
I'll hold off on my plan to slip to a butcher and buy some sausages and hold them in front of Johnny's face then.
Car arcade. Let's go.
All right. Well, it's literally not that far away, but okay.
I'm not leaving my car here.
Why?
I wouldn't put it past him to have it
I
towed,
know,
first
I
of all.
know,
Second of
you're-
all, I want my car.
I'm sorry, Miss Paranoia. I was making a joke. Okay, let's go.
Morrigan, as you're walking around your car to get into the driver's seat, you're taking in the setting and these sculptures in the front yard. One of them catches your eye, and you're drawn to its full physical appearance, and then you're drawn to its face, and you realize that you recognize the face on the sculpture. It's actually from a missing persons report from about 6 months ago.
Huh. Now that's weird. Right. Not gonna bother him right now because he's grumpy. He's probably gotta have some kind of tea or something. I don't know. Let's go, guys.
Okay. Why?
I don't know what artists drink. Okay, don't look at me like that.
Okay. I mean,
Arcade. Let's go to the arcade.
I'm in the car. You're the one staring at a statue.
Is Gia gonna do his disappearing act? Show up at the arcade before they do?
No, I'll take
Freak
the
Johnny the
car.
fuck out.
I'll
Okay.
just ride in the back seat. It's fine.
All right, we're gonna
I
cut
can
back
also
into-
only do that power once per game.
I know, but it's still funny.
I know.
It would be funny for you to do it multiple times
Just do it. Just the only way I travel.
to piss Johnny off. Okay, so we're gonna cut back inside as the car is pulling away, and Herbert, they're leaving you now.
We're cutting back inside the house.
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yep.
He goes back over and he starts turning the music back up, which is now changed to a different tune in the random selection, and it is a song by the Roadhammers called Blood.
Okay.
It's a great song.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah.
So as you're kind of you're turning back the music up, and you step back in the kitchen to get a drink or something, you look at Egg's note that's still laid out that was addressed to you on the counter, and the text has changed. And as you pick it up, it says, sorry, how do I want to phrase this? It says, shit. Sorry, I had it and now it's gone.
Shit.
I had it.
It says, shit, I had it. No, so you pick it up and look. That's kind of a nice postcard there, buddy. Thanks for sharing that with us.
This one? Yeah, it's a birthday card from my dad. It says, thought you could use some roasted nuts for your birthday. And sorry, please go ahead. I love my dad. So.
Your dad is brilliant. It basically indicates a different meeting location in the old quarter district at midnight tonight.
Can't be right. No, I read this thing. It doesn't. He puts it down and goes back to making his tea.
And we're going to cut back to in the car with Morrigan, Gio, and Johnny.
Strange. Like that man wants some tea. We arrive at the arcade, I'm guessing, unless something eventful happens on the ride over.
Nope.
Wonderful. We arrive at the arcade.
Hey, look at that. You're at the arcade. Johnny, what are you going to do?
We're gonna go inside to the Leviathan Hunter game.
So as you step inside, the arcade is, of course, buzzing. It's early evening. It's hopping and bopping. It's the last days of before school, as you know, the fall program is beginning to start. Some kids are in school for elementary school, but the high school kids haven't quite started yet. And Yeah, it's buzzing and hopping. Pizza's being delivered left and right to various parties. The soda is flowing. What kind of music gets played at the arcade?
There is no music because it'd be pointless because all the ambient noise from the arcade machines.
Have you not been to an 80s arcade?
I grew up in the 80s. Yes, I have been to an 80s arcade.
Okay.
And there was there was music of the arcade games, and there was like, depending on what arcade game you were by, that's the music you heard.
Have you not watched Tron? All right, anyways.
The original.
Okay, I'm sorry. This ain't fucking Flynn's. If you want Flynn's, go to that fucking show and then go hang out on Flynn's. This is Stormy's.
Someone didn't have their milk this morning.
Imagine having this conversation with like a patron who comes in who is like a really big Tron
Where's
fan.
the music, man?
Who's like 6.
Yeah.
And is now in tears running out.
I mean that's a I mean, like if there is like areas with music, I guess it would be like
It's your arcade. It's your setting. So what I'm going to ask you then is to explain to us what Stormy's looks like on the inside, and with a little bit of, I mean,
so
I think this is the first time we were really visiting it as a group. So
Stormy's is it looks very early 90s. The similar where there's like rows of arcades machines, and like then there's like a section for the games that you can win tickets on, and all that. And it's got like the counter, the glass counter with all the like prizes you can win, and like the row of stuff in the back, and you're able to win tickets and all that kind of stuff. And there's like different machines, there's like a sailor simulator where you can like steer a boat and like command your people around, and they have to run back and forth on horses, because you're a giant on the ship, or or just like Time Crisis 3, because that's the best Time Crisis. And then I'm sorry if anyone, Time Crisis in general is a very fun arcade game, and if you went to an arcade and didn't play Time Crisis, you didn't have a childhood.
I didn't have a childhood then.
I didn't have a childhood.
You guys didn't play Time Crisis?
I've never been to an arcade.
No, Golden Axe or Strider.
I mean, I played those too. I remember the X-Men game that's there, or it's very badly translated, Turtles in Time.
That was a great game.
That was a great game. I'm trying to
Gauntlet.
Gauntlet was good, yeah. And then Skee Ball, of course, Skee Ball. But yeah, that's it. And essentially, and we're just looking, and like this game is like way in the corner. Like as you walk in, like the layouts, like there's the ticket games, you walk in further, there's more of the arcade games, and then like further back, there's in the corner is that Leviathan game, kind of standing off alone by itself. There's also air hockey, because air hockey's the shit.
Air hockey is the shit.
But there's also like, and I would also like to say there's like the gimmick games where it's like you put on the VR helmet and you like drive the tank and you shoot things, and or like you sit in like the movie theater thing, or racing games. That's a big one. Cruising USA.
Oh, no.
Yes, Moonwalker, Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. That game was awesome. So you walk up to the machine, and seated next to it are two other classic arcade machines. One of them on the right-hand side is the original Tron game. You've got the joystick and everything, and you've got the light cycles, display going on. On the other side is Dig Dug.
Oh
God.
Well, and right next to Dig Dug is actually Centipede. So let's say that we got some good classics going on there. But as you step up, you can see the side of the arcade cabinet, right? And it's mostly in a sort of like a bluish green kind of a color. And on the side, you can see there is this beautiful art, taking the whole idea of the 80s rendered art kind of a thing, or the 80s drawn art that was completely counter to the very 8 or 16-bit kind of graphics that were going on the screen. And on that side, there is a kraken whose tentacles are wrapped around a ship, and you can see that there are pirates on that ship just firing cannonballs and doing everything that they can to actually do this. And so you step up to the machine, and it's very much a classic 8-bit, and there's two joysticks and there's two buttons for each joystick, and it is a 2-player game.
Okay. So I would have Morgan, and I would look at her and like point to the art, and he's like, does that look familiar?
Yep. Like it was ripped from my dreams.
Let's play around.
Great.
I'm sorry. Are you
Nope.
not having?
No, it's fine.
Do you not have a childhood growing up?
Let's not talk about my childhood. Right. Shall we?
Okay.
Face
want
danger.
player-
Wait.
do you want player 1 or player 2?
He's like, put my hair back. No, I'm just kidding.
The hat like slowly gets back on the ground.
Gio, hold my hair.
Yeah, I'm I look at Morgan. Player 1 or player 2?
I'll let you be player 1.
I mean, cool. Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Player
And then-
one gets. Or does Johnny slap in 2 quarters paying for, or does he credit the machine with 2 credits? Does he
He
pop it
credits-
open?
He's not paying to play. It's fucking his arcade. Yeah, he's crediting the machine.
Okay. So Johnny, you pull out your pass key, dip down to where the coin slots are, pop it open. Of course, the door slides out. You trip the trigger twice for 2 credits. So close the door, kind of pop it back in.
There should be a
And-
white button inside the arc, like that when you
Yes.
pop, you know, and then.
Yep.
Uh,
And so you pull your pat.
The white button. Yep.
And so you close it up, and 2 credits appear on the screen, and you hit 2 player, and player 1 gets to choose pirate ship, Leviathan.
pirate ship. Duh.
That means Morgan is playing the Kraken or Leviathan.
Yeah. You know, Johnny, if you want, I can probably transform into one of these. Make it real world.
No,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Let's play the game.
I don't think you can transform to that size.
It could be like a little pocket Leviathan. It'd be great.
Oh.
Right. Okay. So my objective is to kill your ship, right? Got it.
Is that the objective? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean,
Yes. So the way that, based on the description last time, the Leviathan. Oh, wait a minute. I described it slightly different last time. I'm sorry. That's right. So if it's single player, you can choose between Leviathan Hunter, or you see the Leviathan Hunter ship, which was pirates, and the Leviathan. If it's 2 player, you can choose to be a superhero type character who has all of these different abilities, and then the other is the Leviathan. I'm sorry, I screwed up that description. I apologize. So that superhero also gets a ship that he can travel on.
Yeah, I would do the I would play that superhero character.
Okay. I'm sorry. I made a mistake when I described that. So game starts. The ship moves out into the ocean, giving Morrigan the ability to move and execute her attacks using tentacles and essentially a beak attack. For Johnny, there is a couple of options. One is to be able to navigate around the Leviathan's attacks, and then either being able to fire cannons or launching the superhero. And so, go ahead.
So that's I was gonna say how this arcade game is. It's in 3 stages. If you want me, can I have a liberty?
Oh, please take over. If you've got an idea for this, please just take over.
So the first part is like dodging and like trying to like navigate through like the map with the Kraken, and that's where like the other player is like trying to prevent the other player from getting to a spot and like weakening the ship and like trying to sink it. The second part is you automatically, the superhero character gets launched into the water, and then there is like a fighting portion of the game where the Kraken versus the superhero man. then the third portion is more of the fighting. Everyone gets up like a little bit powered up. Well, actually, no. After the second portion, the Kraken runs away, and the third portion is an epilogue after you beat the game, and it's where years later, it's a secret ending that Johnny found out. A portion in the game is that the secret to the ending is that it's another fight sequence. But this time, the giant man creates a whirlpool and throws the Kraken inside there, and sealing the Kraken away.
Okay, so what you're saying is that Johnny is quite an expert at this particular game.
He's an expert at a lot of the games that are here.
Okay, I'm being very clear about this as I asked about what's to happen next. So I'd like both of you to roll a d6.
Okay. Oh, I lost all my buttons. God damn it. we had this bit.
And how do your clothes stay on? I don't know.
Oh, you're the one. What happens? Tell me.
Did Morrigan roll a d6? Because she's playing the game too.
Yeah, she rolled a 2. I rolled a 1.
You rolled a 1.
I didn't see the 1. Oh, what the hell? Why didn't I see the 1?
I can re-roll it if you want me to.
No,
you're not gonna roll it.
it's perfectly fine.
I can see it.
All right, Johnny, narrate for us what happens when Johnny actually loses to Morrigan.
Well, this is what happens, right? He's explaining. He's like, no, he'll like stop playing. He's like, no, you got to hit these buttons, and then he like attacks the ship for her, and be like, you got to do it like this, and like then sinks the ship, and then he goes and plays 2 credits.
You think that Johnny schools Morrigan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
I'm
so.
making it happen.
Okay, so that was the first game. Roll it again.
A 2 for Meta and a 3 for Johnny.
What the hell? I am not seeing the goddamn. All right,
Are you
sorry
in
guys.
the right game? Yeah, you are.
Of course, I'm in the right game.
Yeah, I can see him in the thing.
Yeah. Your internet.
just- No, it's just I have to refresh the instance. It's roll 20 and being silly.
Oh, okay.
It's not
Morrigan
maintaining
lets
its
Johnny
state.
win.
So
Do you tell him that?
No.
Morgan? Do you tell him that?
Oh,
wow, thanks.
why would I tell you that? I
the-
pretended to act dumb so he would show me how to win, and then I let him win.
No, this is. Oh wow. So he's like,
Psychologist,
he'd be like,
teenage
"Oh, okay.
boy.
Hold on, let's keep going through the maps. Let's and let's just you fake it, and then we'll keep going from there. And then see it all the way through, and like see if that. How far did the dream go?
The island thing with the lights and shit. Box. Wait, is that the same dream? I can't tell anymore. Everything's
The
awesome.
island. Okay, so if there's a secret portion of the game that is the island, Johnny wouldn't know about it.
Not yet.
Yeah. So he'd be like, "Huh? When did you get to the island?"
I don't remember. It was such a long time ago. It's like Meta doesn't remember anything that happened.
Okay, so roll for let's play the third game, guys. Roll again. Johnny wants to do a best 2. We'll do a best 2 out of 3 kind of a situation.
Please, Tom.
Keep rolling 2s. This is weird. Every single roll I've made is a 2. That's weird,
I'm
right?
really, yeah, it's totally weird. I'm glad that you're not actually rolling, normally, because that would really suck right now. Okay, Johnny. So, describe to us how you win differently than the last time.
Since he's taking his time, he's not playing like against the computer or someone else who's like challenged him, where he's like trying to kick their ass. He's like trying to explore the game. So it's like essentially when you take your time with the game and you're like, well, let's go down this way because no one ever goes this way. Or when you're playing like a dungeon crawler and you're like, well, that's the exit. Let's go that way instead of going to the exit or the known progression, he's going the opposite way. Yeah. So I imagine when the ship sinks, there is another portion that Johnny never seen because Johnny just keeps not getting the ship sunk. And that portion is like when you are fighting the Kraken in the water, but you end up on an island. And the island is where what Morrigan describes as the island, I imagine. So that's a getting to the island portion of the game, and then like going like and looking at Morrigan like, I haven't seen this before.
I don't know what to tell you. I've never played this game before, so.
But is this the island? Wait, is it the island I saw when I was trying to jump to?
Yep.
Oh, I saw this island when I got struck by lightning.
Should we go there? No.
Yes.
No.
Why?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
I'm going there.
Not right now. We don't even know what's actually there.
In the game, he's going there, and he's like, "I'm going there right now.
Not the game.
Stop me."
So as Johnny begins to move on to the island and starts the next phase of the game, it's a new fourth phase that Johnny hasn't seen before, and it's side scroller. And the hero character begins to battle through a forest, very Ghost and Goblin style. A bunch of different types of creatures that are like dead pirates, reanimated, and just various creatures in the forest. And as you get through that and move beyond to the next, you're Johnny, of course, just being completely skilled at it. He's jumping and hitting and doing the attacks and everything else, and he gets his way through. And then the next portion of the game, as he gets to that beyond that side scroller scene, he comes to a place in the game where it congratulates him, and there is this open field area, and his character just slowly begins to walk. And as he walks forward, there is a dais that's sort of like at the end of this level. And on this dais is an altar, and on the top of that altar is a cup. And behind the altar, laying on the ground, is the sleeping individual. And there's like little Z's just sort of coming off. And it gets to that. It says, "Congratulations, you have completed your quest." And the glowing begins to happen around the cup, and it just sort of gets more brilliant and just kind of whites out the screen, and then the whole machine resets back to the beginning of the game.
At the beginning of that kind of Ghosts and Goblins thing, did we hear a voice that was just almost frightening, like Mr. Gallows, say, "Rise from your grave and save my daughter"?
Yes.
If I got hit, did I end up in my underwear?
That looked a lot like what I went through, right? Twice. Once when we were going through trying to wake up Roz, and the next time with what happened with Derek, right?
Yeah. So one of the things that was interesting is that even though it was 8-bit graphics and it was side scroller, the sleeping figure at the end looked vaguely familiar to you. And when you have some time to sort of process and think about it, you realize that it looks like Malcolm's friend Gideon.
Right. So who made this video game exactly?
Johnny.
That never came up in your research. In fact, the origins of the game were a little vague. It was just one of the earliest video games to have 2-player competitiveness.
I mean, even on Sage, there's not a lot of information about it. It's not really a well-known game. I'm surprised that this guy's even remotely a big player of this game, and they gotten popular from playing it. A lot of people like, more of the esports, and not so much. I really hope he's entertaining when he plays it, because I mean, we beat the game literally twice in like 45 minutes. I mean, does any of it look familiar?
Yeah, the whole thing. All of it.
What, even the cup and the sleeping person?
Yeah. Yeah. That sleeping person is Gideon. Do you remember Malcolm?
Oh, yeah. Do you want to go there?
That's Gideon.
Well,
I mean, I've got
I'm sorry, who?
Gideon.
We can get there in like 30
Do
seconds.
this vision quest dream thing. I've got like 1,000 things I need to try to do, and I don't even know where to start right now. How is it that this arcade game has any relative tie to what happened months ago?
I don't know. Hold on. I'm going to go get Gideon. I'll be back in like 30 seconds.
What if he's not there?
Then I'll come back and tell you he's not there. Hold on. And then he walks up and he literally goes to like this like weird like cardboard like side paneling, opens it up, and there's this weird tunnel there. And he walks in and shuts the door. And then goes to the other side to Malcolm's warehouse.
Okay, so for anybody who goes and tries to actually do the same thing that Johnny just did, what you open up to is basically a wall, a brick wall.
Yeah, Morgan's not even bothering with it whatsoever. She's processing a bunch of different things right now.
I'm kind of imagining Geo actually going and checking it out, just because that's his curiosity is going to get the best of him.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, and so that's generally what you see.
While this is happening, I'm Googling, looking for the missing persons information that I recognize from the statue.
All right, so think about what you want to ask me in regards to that, and then I'm going to have you roll an investigate roll after we do this little interaction with Johnny in the warehouse.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to cut to Johnny arriving at the other side, and screams of hooray as Johnny walks through, and then everybody kind of realizes, oh, there's no pizza.
Oh, sorry, I didn't think about it. I was actually I'm in a rush to see Gideon.
Gideon, and Tink runs right up to you, and of course she's just 8 years old and adorable as hell. She's like, Gideon's not here.
She launch her in the air and then catch her.
Whee! He's not here. He's Malcolm's looking for him.
Where'd he go?
He wandered off. There was this whole thing where this really bad man named Samuel kidnapped a couple of us. He got Nibs and one of the twins, and he took me too, and they rescued me. And then there was this thing that happened, and Gideon's gone. He got on a boat and he went away.
Where did he get on a boat?
Down. I think it's called the Old Quarter. It's something about getting on a boat and just kind of floating out into the bay. And then Malcolm just going to go find him, and he took JP, and he took Flora, and he took there's this weird sort of guy that's got like a really kind of weird. He's got a oh, that's right, his name is Scratch. He's got a scratchy voice.
Okay. Yeah, hold on. Let me get you guys a pizza, and I'll see if I can go find him. Okay.
Okay. I'm Malcolm says he helps with bad dreams. I've been having bad dreams lately. So can you make sure and hurry?
What have you had bad dreams about?
Just being on the water in a boat, and being lots of crazy like waves and stuff. And then there's something under the water, and I don't know what's going on.
Is it an octopus?
I don't know. The tentacles are too big. It doesn't seem like a normal octopus. Octopuses are about the human size, and I know that because I have this great book over here, and she runs over and grabs this zoology book that she kind of brings back. She kind of flips and she kind of opens it up and she shows you, and it's got all this this is the size of this is what an octopus looks like, and I don't think that's an octopus.
I would actually, with Morrigan mentioning the Kraken, he would go on his phone and sage the Kraken.
Okay.
And then bring up a picture, and he's like, was it like that?
You don't see her say anything, or she doesn't say anything, but you see her get more emotional. Her breathing gets really heavy, and she gets teary-eyed, and
he puts it away right away.
Okay.
And then he's like, no, it's okay. It's just a picture.
Hurry and find Malcolm. I miss Malcolm. The twins have been helping, but find Malcolm.
next time you have a bad dream, this is what you do. Imagine I'm there and I got my super strength, right? And then I'll jump in the water and fight the thing away, and so it will calm the waters. Okay?
Okay. You gonna be my hero?
Yeah.
Okay. And she starts to get bashful. Will you be my boyfriend?
Right. Pepperoni. Got it.
I gotta go. And then he just
she's like, bye. Don't forget the pizza. Bye.
I'll
See you
bring
later,
you
boyfriend.
Oh god. And then he would go get a pizza and then put it in the magical doorway, and then or open it and slide it out to them as they all rejoice, and then shut the door behind them, and go back over to Morrigan and Geo and be like, so bad news. Oh no, go ahead.
There's this little girl who's in love with me.
Were you gonna say something, Johnny? Okay. So bad news. Gideon got on a boat in the bay where I saw the island that was protected by a weird striped tentacle that apparently is attacking Morrigan.
What?
The cat's tail is on the screen.
I was wondering
He
too.
won't
Yeah.
leave me alone. He's being super cute though.
Because yeah, I'll open my door and see what happens. Because he'll just be like meow 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 meow. Goddamn. So yeah, he'd be like, so Gideon might be on that island and he might be sleeping.
Sleeping?
Right. That's probably the whole thing with the game. That totally makes sense. Why didn't I think of that? It's a video
Well-
game. Why is this even a thing? I
don't know. Why do I have super strength? Why can you turn into Crow? Why can Geo teleport?
Okay.
So
Let's say theoretically that this game is showing us where Gideon is. We have to get to the island and fight through undead skeletons, and you'll just be there with the cup. That's
Well-
woo! We win the game.
Here's
Right.
the thing. Malcolm, JP, Flora, and a man named Scratch, which I'm really questioning their choice of friends now that sound like drug dealers,
Yeah.
are making they're heading over there currently right now.
Wait, they're heading to the island?
Well,
they just
they
out looking?
have. I don't know how long ago they left, but
Are you sure they're going to the island?
yeah,
You have confirmation that
they got on a boat to the bay. I'm kind of jumping to the island part because that's where I saw the island when I saw it.
Okay. How's
So-
about this? Wait. Nope, never mind. I gotta think about this for a minute. Carry on.
I say that we go to the bay and get on a boat and sail out there.
I just don't know if there are other things we're unaware of that exist on said island.
I mean, if the answer of waking up Derek is out there,
Yes.
won't you do anything to get out there?
You have no idea. Yes.
How
However,
many? What other options do you have to wake up Derek currently?
well, I have to follow up on something.
What's that?
I can't tell you
Why?
because it's better if you don't know currently.
All right.
Okay.
Won't question that further, but
Well, what do you want to do? No, let's say we can all meet at the old quarter tonight because that's where they left from.
Right. So let's do that while I go do my other thing.
When's your other thing?
And then I'm gonna wear like a cat suit or whatever you're supposed to wear on island expeditions. I don't know. Am I supposed to wear like an explorer's hat? Who knows?
Do you have an explorer's hat?
I mean, I could like literally give myself an explorer's hat right now.
Well, fuck. I mean, where would you want? I don't care. Here. What time is your thing?
There's no set time, but I need to follow up on it. So, like, sooner is better.
Well, it's only like 4 in the afternoon.
Right.
That's right, Johnny. I don't know. I'm just pulling that time out of my ass.
That's okay. Sounds like everything else.
Your watch. Just ask Christopher Walken. He knows.
Nice
Nice
reference.
reference.
Yeah. Okay, so you're gonna do this thing, and I'm gonna go do my thing, and then we'll meet up at the old quarter. Any particular location?
By the bay?
That's very vague, Johnny. Is there a
I
particular
don't know
location?
where by the bay. How about I text you when I find somewhere by the bay I enjoy and we find a boat?
Great.
Wait,
don't
are we just
need
gonna
a-
find the boat?
We
I
don't
would-
need a boat.
We have to go out on the bay.
Again, don't need a boat for
Why?
that. Cacaw, hello?
Oh, okay.
All right, we can do that.
A little bit more discreet than taking a boat with 3 random people on it. Hey, who are you? Oh, you're a criminal profiler and a teenager and a bartender? That totally makes sense. Why are you out here?
What are you talking about? We've been doing that this far.
A bartender or in a boat.
Sounds like the setup for a joke.
And
It's not a
the
funny
bartender looks at the other two and he's like, what do you drink?
Okay, I'm gonna go now.
Okay, bye.
First, you take the goose because the fox won't eat the grain. Never mind.
Okay, so as Morrigan is walking away, what's going on with you?
Gio's been looking at a particular arcade game for a little while, just watching other people play it, called Splatterhouse. And just sort of looking at some of the iconography that exists in it and the blood being spilled, and like having like these sort of vague memories coming back to him, but not really being able to place them. But he'll leave and he will go back to the Queen of Hearts to while away the hours.
Okay, so for Johnny, just as you're walking away, you hear somebody say, "Hey, who the hell set the high score on this damn machine? That's my job."
I turn and look to see what game.
You see some scrawny, skinny little punk dressed all in black, pasty, very, very white skin. His hair is clearly dyed, and it looks like it's dreading out just a little bit. And he is trying to grow facial hair, but it's terrible.
Is it dyed black?
It's dyed black. And when you look at him, you realize that it is Timothy McCracken.
Is there? So I have a question.
I have an answer. I'm not sure it's going to be the answer that you want, but I have an answer.
What does Johnny feel when he sees him? Like, and not Johnny, but like, is there the mythos inside of him? Would it react sensing the other mythos? That's my question.
My question to you is, what do you think would happen in that situation?
I feel like right now, like the cards are kind of like held against the chest a little bit, because I don't know the sense, like if mythos can sense each other, and how it like that's where I kind of come in, and I don't think that would be the case because that's not what Johnny's mythos was. He wasn't like a sense like Geos is able to see through the mist and all that kind of stuff. So
Right.
To Johnny, he would just like look at this kid and be like, yeah, I said it.
And
But you wouldn't. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I just want to chime in on something real quick here with my view of what you were just saying. Just random mythoses, whatever. I don't think that they would be able to sense one another. But ones that are connected, like Captain Ahab and the Great White Whale, there is always a connection between the two of them. And I think they would, even if they were, playing it quite close to the chest, like you said, there would be a twinge of, wait, do I know you? Kind of thing, at least, would be my guess.
The thing is that Johnny, okay, so would Johnny have that familiarity when he sees this person? Is my
familiarity for what specifically?
Just a familiarity, like a general sense. I mean, like, because Johnny's seen this person, I imagine. Is it Timothy McCracken?
It is Timothy McCracken.
So he would know that, hey, this is fucking, the guy he researched earlier. But and so the familiarity would be more of like on a like deeper sense than like, oh, I saw this guy on the internet.
Like a kind of deja vu type, like sense inside, wait a minute.
Like
I think it's. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, like, like having a deja vu, like I felt this before, or this seems similar.
I would imagine like an almost visceral, like, kind of hatred in a way that could be like wiped off as like, oh, this kid's snide and annoying, but also like there's something you can't explain about why you just immediately hate him.
Because the mist is working the way it's supposed to be.
Right.
And so part of you just writes it off as, oh, it's this guy. I looked him up on the internet.
Yeah.
So that's exactly the general gist of what I would suggest. What I would also say is that in to support what Trent says, there are mythos that are not connected at all, and then there are mythos that are connected, and then there are mythos that are drawn together or drawn to each other specifically for the conflict that they have experienced over the existence of those mythos, right? It's like it's being two sides of the same coin. It's being that yin yang sort of balance kind of a thing. I get the impression that based on your mythos, Timothy McCracken would be drawn to him regardless of where Johnny is as a logos, as a sleeper, as a human being. Your mythos would be drawn to Timothy McCracken very strongly. Because of who his mythos is.
Yeah. Okay, no, go ahead, finish.
No, go ahead. So go ahead.
He would just look at him and be like, yeah, I did that.
Kind of sizes you up and down. It's and now that you realize
the same thing, like looking him up and down.
You realize that he's a little bit older than he's dressing. He's probably in his early 20s, but he dresses like he's in high school or whatever. And he's like, really? All right, get over here. And he's just got this real, just sassy attitude.
Do you need to call your dad and say you love him? Because you dress up like you fucking hate everyone.
Do you want to maintain your high score here? Do you want to prove yourself against the champ? Because we can go.
Okay. What game?
The Leviathan Hunter.
Oh, good. I just got warmed up on that.
So you step up. He throws in 2 quarters before you can do anything else, and he picks Leviathan.
Oh, good. This will be fun. He's just still cracking his fingers, like.
And the game begins.
Yes.
And we're gonna cut to Morrigan, and we'll come back to Johnny and his competition in just a minute.
So first things first, I need to do my investigate roll.
Sure.
For that thing that I was looking up for the missing person.
Yes.
So, with that said, I want to look at this. I actually don't think any tags apply because I'm doing
At all?
I'm just doing a search, so like I'm not using my connections to the police. I mean, I guess I could call in Catherine, right?
Yep. You've not talked to Catherine in a while either, which is interesting.
Yeah, and ask her if she could give me a missing person to the description that I have from the
Okay,
phone.
so your description is going to be incredibly vague, but why don't you go ahead and roll the investigation roll and use your whatever you ties to the police that you have as a power tag.
Okay.
And there's not going to be any negative story tags in your favor. So
Yeah. So this is because this is an investigate roll. If I treat it like dynamite, so just as a heads up.
Yep.
Okay. Dynamite, 2 power, and investigate. Oh, I keep forgetting I have to have my great success.
Mm-hmm. So, most important detail comes first with the dynamite, and then you're going to get 3, or you're going to get 2 power tag or power 2 clues to ask about everything else. Most important detail that you find is that the person's disappearance was under mysterious circumstances, where they were in the Old Quarter district, out for a late night stroll with their partner. Their partner stepped into an establishment to go to the restroom, and the individual was taken, and they disappeared. And there was some unusual biological matter in the form of scales that were found at the point of disappearance, and there was also a little bit of water, which turned out to be ocean water from the bay.
Okay. The scales were like large, small, like fish size, or aquatic creature size?
No, they were not gigantic mythological character or creature size. They were relatively small, and the analysis, while inconclusive on the exact creature, was labeled them as reptilian.
Reptilian. Okay.
All right, so those are the most important details. Now you get to spend 2 clues for additional details.
Shoot.
No, shit is not a detail.
What was the person's name, by the way? Do we have a name?
Clara Downing.
Okay, Clara Downing.
And I'm not going to treat that as a clue because it would have been obvious.
True.
Based on the information that you had as the most important clue.
Okay. So, person. Any criminal record or any other like public police records on Clara?
No, she was an elementary school teacher inside of the blue collar district. Was just married. Her partner was actually her wife, who she had just been married within the year of her disappearance. She was mostly a nice girl. Had a little bit of trouble when she just got out of high school, but otherwise, she had pretty much the normal sort of quiet life or what have you.
Okay. One. Is there any references in any way, like art or belongings, that have to do with Herbert?
Any references to art or belongings?
Like possessions that she had, or any like purchases that were made, or transactions that have to do with Herbert or his business?
So yes, there would be a ticket she was coming from an event, from an art gallery exhibit inside of the Old Quarter, and her partner her wife had a ticket for that particular event at the Old Quarter, and it was for to a gallery exhibit of some of Herbert's sculptures.
Okay. Those are my questions.
Can she get a freebie?
Sure.
Because it would be there. In addition to that, would be that after hearing about her disappearance, after coming to his showing, that he made, or there would be a news article that he made a sculpture of her, which is where the statue came from.
Okay.
Actually, and you also find a reference to this particular event with this particular gallery event. This is another freebie you're going to get. An article written by Calvin in regards to the art style, and how Calvin was really impressed and enamored with Herbert's ability to capture individuals in such a lifelike fashion. It's a very modern sort of approach instead of very idealized in the way that classic Greek or Roman sculptures were handled.
Okay.
To give you an idea of what it looks like, somewhere out there on Twitter, there's a tweet that has an image where it's like, it's amazing that people can make stone look soft. And it's like this beautiful sculpture of this woman in like a silk dress or whatever, and it's like this wonderful Asian sculpture. It's that level of but more so sculpture. But anyway.
Okay, got it. So Morrigan is leaving to go back to Herbert's house after finding this information.
Okay. And we're gonna cut to Geo. What are you doing, Gio? You're back at the Queen of Hearts. What's going on?
Fuck. I'm concerned about the police coming to investigate me. However, I'm not entirely sure how to deal with that situation, because I haven't had to deal with the police for a long time.
Okay.
I think...
I mean, you do work at the Queen of Hearts. There's a number of things that you can do and have access to, even though it's technically not a made man establishment.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I would probably talk to a couple of the regulars, and just try and... I'm not gonna ask them to do anything, I'm not gonna ask them to do anything bad, not like threats or anything. But I would like to kind of get an ear on the ground or something, so I can know if they are about to come in here and arrest me, and so I know to get the hell out if they have decided to write a warrant for my arrest or something.
Okay. How do you go about doing that? Are you calling in a favor? Do you have a favor? Are you asking for a favor?
No, I don't have a favor. I would likely be asking for a favor. Or hoping to, in some way, just convince them to do it for free without there being any sort of payment involved.
Okay, so who are you approaching?
I believe I had a conversation with a organized crime man, family man by the name of Vinny a while back.
Yep. So you approach Vinny?
Yeah.
Hey, Gio, what's up, man?
Not too much. How's things with you? How's the wife?
She's a pain in my ass. All kinds of shopping, spending all kinds of money. I can't make it fast enough. You know.
Yep, same old, same old.
What am I drinking tonight? You usually rank me the right drink. What am I drinking tonight?
Tonight, my friend, you are drinking a old-fashioned, straight up.
Ah, all right, right on. Yeah, so she's spending all the money, running up bills on the credit card. So, what's going on in your world? Haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, been doing some little bit of soul searching, if you know what I mean. Well, some stuff from a few years back might be coming back to me, and I don't know how to deal with it.
He kind of gives you sort of a weird look. You in the business and I didn't know about it?
No, nothing like that. Just look, I'm not one to ask for favors. But there were some officers who came in here earlier, and they seemed to think I did something that I certainly didn't do. But I'm a little bit worried that they're going to come back, and I'm a little bit worried that they're gonna find some other stuff from a long time ago. I don't want to impose or nothing, but
Gio, we're friends. You're not family, but we're friends, and you take care of me. So, what do you need?
Look, if I know that you've got some sort of connection with the boys in blue, I don't need you to break any legs or nothing. I don't want anything like that. I don't want to be scaring nobody. I'm not trying to get in more trouble. I'm just trying to get out of it. If you could just try and make sure they I don't know, if they're gonna keep digging, make sure they don't find nothing old. And if they are gonna come after me now, give me a heads up.
He kind of puts his hand over his eyes and kind of rubs them. He's like, "Yeah, man, what? Man, I that's a tall order. I'm gonna have to ask. I'm gonna have to ask Tony about that. He might ask for a favor. I don't know.
Look, if it costs me a favor, then I'll do it. All right. But
do you want to try to convince him?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and all right, so I have bartender, people trust me, good listener, fake smile, let's see, tricks of the trade, and I think that's it. I am gonna throw a weakness tag of man behind the mask on it though.
Okay. Okay, that sounds good. Roll it.
Okay. Mild success.
All right. So he kind of looks at you, looks down at look at his drink, kind of looks at you again, All right. Here's the deal. This is a tall order, man. But you take care of me. You take care of my boys when we're here. I'm going to take this one for you. But if you have to ask again, then I gotta I have to make sure that Tony knows, okay? That it's you.
Of course.
All right.
I expect nothing less.
Can I call you later with some info?
Absolutely.
All right. He says, yeah, let me go take care of this and I'll call you later.
All right. Good man. Thanks so much.
Stay out of trouble, Gio. You don't belong in this business.
Not a lot of places I do.
And he exits, and we will cut to Herbert.
So it's probably about 5 by now.
Probably a little later. Morrigan will eventually show up, but what's going through Herbert's head at this point?
Music. He's blaring it again, and he's trying to focus on work, but he's having a hard time doing it. But he's got most of his, concealment gear off and hung up, and he's sweeping huge piles of incredibly fine powder, grayish powder, into piles, and just from all over the house, from virtually every surface, and sweeping it all together and adding just a little bit of bottled water to it, and just sort of almost squatting down in the living room, almost like he's rolling dough, in the middle of the living room floor. I mean, it's his studio, but still. And he's just working it into this incredibly fine, smooth clay. And he's just sitting there. We're just trying to vent some frustration, by just manually working the clay and getting it ready for sculpting, if he's going to do any.
So for Herbert, when he's dealing with when he's dealing with a piece that's not really coming out to his liking, how does he respond to that?
He gets frustrated because there are samples of his work, throughout his house that are very meh. And I mean, some of the really rough ones almost look like, the statues from Pompeii. I mean, it's a human shape, but it is just coarse and porous, and it doesn't look like anything other than the fact that it's clearly meant to be a humanoid shape, and it looks like somebody was making a statue of one of the victims of Pompeii. And then right next to it is something that is much better, and it actually looks like what it's supposed to be, like an apple, like a bowl of fruit, but each one is made out of sculpted clay, and then it's baked, or it's not baked, whatever, cured, no, fired, and then painted with enamel, and it looks like a decent bowl of fruit. That could be the thing. And right next to that is another piece of crap, and it's just there's no sense of consistency. And then every once in a while is this extraordinary piece that is just unbelievably lifelike, and sometimes they're whole and sometimes they're broken, and he tries not to focus too much on it. He tries to see, okay, this is a progression, I'm getting better, I can every now and again I can surpass myself and do this, I just need to keep trying. But there is this nagging in the back of his head that when it's not coming out along this progression, that he gets very, very frustrated, and it just makes the piece worse. And so it kind of starts this feedback loop of anger.
Okay, and so as this is going on again, and you got this feedback loop going on, and it's starting to build up, there's a knock at your door.
What the hell Who is it?
Dr. Kane?
Just a minute. And he turns the music down, leaving a big smear of clay across the knob. And he goes and he's like, looks at the sink, and he knows what'll happen if he washes this clay off his hands and it gets into the plumbing. So, and he just goes and starts putting his stuff on, and he's just pulling the ski mask down and putting on like a baseball cap or something when he opens the door. What is it, Doctor?
What can you tell me about Clara Downing?
Her.
Yeah.
She, was it 6 months ago, you said? Yeah, okay. So about, I guess, 6, 7 months ago or so, she disappeared, after, she would, God, come on inside. And he goes to a rinse bucket that has a rag and starts cleaning his hands off. She and her wife, I think, came to an installation piece at a gallery that I was doing, and she after she left, she disappeared, and I felt just so sorry for her wife for losing someone like that, and so I did that piece out front for her. I offered to give her wife the piece, but she said that she appreciated it, but she was a little too real. Didn't want it in the house, or so I told her I'd keep it here if she ever wanted to come look at it. Hopefully she shows up. I'd like for that to have a happy ending if possible, but that's all I know.
You met Clara only the one time?
Yeah, she came to the gallery, and we talked very briefly about the kind of tools that I use to get such smooth textures on things, because sometimes it doesn't work out so well. But every now and again, inspiration strikes. But yeah, just that one time. Didn't talk to her wife much at that point. I mostly talked to her after I made the sculpture.
How did you make it look so much like her if it was just the one time?
You know, honestly, I can't tell you. It just came out that way. I mean, there were pictures of her in the newspaper. Artists tend to have a very critical eye. We remember small details. I guess that was it. But I mean, beyond that, I'd chalk it up to inspiration. I really don't know.
Okay. Do you know that they found reptilian scales at the scene where she was last seen? I noticed you had a really intricate turtle. Maybe you like aquatic creatures and such.
I had a turtle when I was a kid. When my condition first started to flare up, my mother got me a turtle try to take my attention off of me and give me something to focus on. And I mean, I took care of it for several years before it got lost. I don't really ever know what happened to it. But to answer your question, I know that the report, yeah, it did mention the article in the newspaper did mention some kind of scales, yeah.
And ocean water in the middle of a border.
Yeah, I think so. It's been a while. I haven't read the article. It was months ago, so.
Yeah. So I feel like there's something else. Maybe you're not aware of what that else is. But I don't know. It just seems me and Egg have been working together for so long. And I just don't know why he would give me your information if there wasn't something there.
Did he only send you one message?
Well, yeah, just the one note.
Okay, he must have sent me two.
Why?
Because I after you left, I was looking at this again, and there must have been a second note, but now I can't find the first one. But this one says that I should come in and meet him tonight at midnight. But I can't find the first note. And I don't remember seeing this one when the other one showed up.
I'm gonna grab the note I got from Egg out of my bag. Does it look the same?
Oh yeah, you followed up and did exactly what you needed to do. It's still there.
Well, do you need someone to accompany you?
You know, honestly, if you had asked me that before this morning, I would say no, because I probably wouldn't even go. But you and I seem to have some parallel something to do with this guy. You know him, I don't.
True.
I feel like I owe you guys after this morning. No, I feel like I owe you after this morning. The other two, they've lost whatever debt I might have.
They're rough around the edges.
I've got a few chisels if you want to borrow one.
That might come in handy. Okay, well, I can come back for you. I have a car. Or we can go get some dinner if you'd like, or you can stop by my office perhaps.
I don't go out very much. Obviously, going by this morning's situation, and I'll probably just eat here. Given the amount of dust that tends to be in my place, a lot of the food I make I don't subject anyone else to it. Very gritty most of the time, especially the grits. Very sorry. Maybe swing back by here and pick me up when it's time to.
Okay. If that's what you want. I can also order takeout. There's lots of places by my office.
Is this your office, this address?
Yes, I live there now while I take care of my friend. It's more secure than my home, unfortunately.
Your friend is there.
Yes. He's under my private care.
Is Egg there?
Sometimes.
Well, if we run into it, maybe we can avoid this whole going to meet him at midnight thing.
True.
You like chicken parmesan?
Sure.
Do chicken parmesan.
Great. I know a good place. My friend Calvin has written a lot of food reviews, so generally go to his recommended locations.
That Calvin Janikis guy, right?
Gannicus, yes.
Oh, Gannicus. No.
Yeah. He's a busy man now, but yeah. He's an okay guy when he's not angry about the world.
I guess it could be said about a lot of people.
True.
Okay, let me get a little more
Sure.
cleaned up.
Yeah, take your time. I'll be in the car.
Okay. And so he'll tidy himself up a bit more and try to shake off as much of the dust as he can.
Morrigan puts in a call for the order to pick up.
So as you step back around, as you're getting all your stuff back together, and the call go through for Morrigan, and she, and the order, will be there, at the specified time that you've expressed. You're putting on all your garb, Herbert, and you look back down at the note. It's changed again, and it says just 2 words. Good idea.
Okay, what the fuck? What the fuck?
It's not the roasted nuts picture. I'm sorry, I was expecting roasted nuts.
Damn
No,
it.
this is just the envelope. No. That's why I had to be
But
careful
so-
not to show this side that has my address and everything on it. Oh shit, not that side.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, so you look at it and it's just it's written in it, it's written on there and it says good job or good idea. And as you're kind of just
I was showing it to Morgan. What the fuck?
Is it the third note?
I don't think so. I had this sitting on the counter in front of me while I was changing. This is the same piece of paper.
What a weird day. Am I right?
And his eyes through the ski mask, his eyes just narrow and just yeah.
Maybe
All right.
it's like invisible.
And so we're gonna-
ink or something. I'm trying to rationalize this for him, for his sake.
Right.
Okay.
and we're gonna cut to Johnny battling back and forth with Timothy McCracken on Leviathan Hunter. You guys are up 4 games each. It's been a rough ride each time, back and forth. Leviathan winning half of the time, and the pirate ship with the hero winning the other half of the time. But all the times that he wins, he consumes the hero and then he crushes the ship. And he's like, again, and he's just really aggressive about it. But this time, the fight is going really different. He's using some sort of different strategy. He's not going directly attacking. He's just sort of like teasing you farther and farther out into the water.
Away from the goal?
Away from the ship's goal to get to the island, right? Away from that second phase. He just keeps playing that first phase and prolonging it, making it longer and longer and longer, almost like baiting you out farther and farther into the quote unquote water, never letting you get to the goal of the second phase of the game.
This is what he does. Johnny, for some odd reason, he's like, what if I hit up, down, BA, BA? And then then the boat continues onto the goal, but Johnny jumps off on the water and is in the water, and the superhero is sitting in front of him currently. And so and he's seeing how he's reacting to that.
You think you've got him by surprise, but he actually kind of smiles, and you can see the smiles kind of creep in the corner of his mouth. And you're left a little unsettled as the Kraken disappears from the screen for just a second as he commits. Up, down, A, B, A, B, A, up. And you see the Kraken disappear, and the screen just kind of goes crazy because there's like waves being like generated for each of the tiles on the screen, and the characters just the hero characters just kind of looking around, and then it comes up. The Kraken comes up, tentacles and all, in its maw, just kind of comes up, grabs the hero, and drags it underwater.
So what I want to do is I want to roll my power tags. I am going to roll beat them at everything, ultimate fighter, which is already marked, impressive, arcade repair, arcade repair, and to go all the way and Father's Arcade. Weakness, face the nemesis is being marked. Attention. And then what I'm going to do is, I was planning on this. I was baiting him to bring me out. I'm going to, for some odd reason, I think I look at him and I'm like, that's funny. Huh. You got my stomach all knotted up. And then he starts hitting buttons and he starts tying. Well, what he's going to try to do is tie all the fucking Kraken's tentacles into knots into each other and tangling into one giant knot.
Okay, so along with your weakness tag, there are two other story tags that are in play here.
Okay.
And those story tags are negatives for you. The first one is Arcade Champ.
How do I add negatives to a roll? Oh,
you
there
just,
we go. Never mind.
yeah. All right, so Arcade
Okay.
Champ is the first one. And the second one is Secret Moves.
Okay. Wouldn't that be a bonus because I'm doing secret moves?
In this particular case, he's got something else going on. So
okay.
Speedrunning strats.
Yeah. So is it? I'm trying to think what this would be. Face of danger.
It could be face of danger, or it could be sort of go toe to toe, or it could even be take a risk. It all depends ultimately on what your intent here is, and based on the way that you described it to me, it's definitely not face danger.
Okay.
It seems like take a risk or go toe to toe. Really, ultimately, it comes down to what kind of how do you want the result to really kind of play out? With toe to toe, you get a couple things to choose depending upon how well you succeed. With take a risk, it's essentially just a binary kind of a thing.
That's the best.
I think go toe to toe.
To toe, to toe, to toe,
To toe, to toe, to toe.
To toe, to toe. All right, here we go. Oh!
Great.
Okay.
Woo! Woo! I only
All right,
have
what do you-
power. So that's what he's doing. He's as he's doing this, like he's like they're going down into the water, and the screen is like dark, and it's just the two characters on a black screen, and it is them fighting and like getting blows in and doing this and going back and forth, and then tying the Kraken two tentacles into a knot, and then he's like fighting him some more, and then he just keeps pushing further, and there's punches and going back and forth and trading blows, And then as like the blows keep coming, he's like grabbing one tentacle and tying another one. And then when he's got like 3, he's tying those 3 together. And it's just like, and it's becoming like a whirlwind and and spinning around each other, hitting each other back and forth. And that's what he's currently doing right now.
Okay, so that sounds to me like you're achieving the goal, which is to counteract his attack, or potentially block, counter, or dodge, his best attempts.
Yeah.
But the other one is that you're giving the opponent basically a status of some kind of like bound with their own tentacles, right? And so that binding happens. All those tentacles begin to get tied in, but he's got a little bit of a smile on his face, and he executes another sort of move where it's left right B A, and the creature again just kind of disengages from you, sweeps around, and comes firing at you with its maw open, big sharp teeth kind of a thing. So you're going to face danger.
Okay. Beat them at everything. I think all the same powers kind of apply.
Okay, so it's going to be the same. It's going to be the same on the negatives too. And I think that you can't use the weakness tag again in this scene if I remember correctly.
Okay, that's fine. So I'll mark that off. All right.
Okay.
I'll face danger.
Nice.
And that's
Nice
dynamite.
Okay, so I don't remember what dynamite for face danger is.
I don't know. I don't have the. I lost all my things.
Okay, well, so we're just gonna say that you not only do you face danger, but you actually get the upper hand. So I'm gonna let you narrate what happens as finish this.
Basically, something happens. Instead of the whirlpool showing up in the epilogue, the battle is so strong and like it's even like corrupting the game a little bit. Like the game doesn't know how to handle what is going on right now, and the battle is continuing back and forth, and like the whirlpool appears in the background out of the black screen, but it's not like a whirlpool that's like 8-bit. It's like a digital whirlpool. Like it's like sucking in like bits of the game and all that kind of stuff. And then and he's like doing the cheat codes and all that, and Johnny is doing some moves that like he never knew that he could do in the game, and he's being pushed that limit, and like right before he gets the Kraken, right before you see the superhero man, and goes tidal wave punch, and he starts doing the tidal wave punch that Johnny's done, but a very different voice, and he punches him and he starts flying, but as he like the punch is coming, he's like he kind of like looks over at McCracken, and he's like, don't you always know the Kraken always loses, and then knocks him into the whirlpool.
So that animation happens, the Kraken goes into the whirlpool. You hear Craig get you hear Timothy get incredibly frustrated, and he's like, god damn it, and he slams his fist down and smashes the screen. The screen just shatters. And what you notice, something that strikes you as really interesting here, not only does the screen shatter and the display go out, but the force of his hit pushes the screen inward in such a way that there was more force than you would expect for somebody who's just smashing a screen. It's as if the cabinets, the carbon tube of the TV was just kind of smashed completely in, and the console itself, where the 2 joysticks are and the 2 buttons are, is like it's dented a little bit. Like he actually broke the I can't remember the type of wood that's used. Yeah, he just broke. He basically, his hand imprint is basically in the machine. His arm imprint, like he really damaged it. He's clearly stronger than he's letting on.
Oh, what the fuck?
And he gets, whatever. Done with this game anyways. Moving on to something else. Good luck, kid. And he starts to head out.
he like grabs him and he's like, you broke the fucking machine.
And so as you reach for him and you're reaching out to grab for him, he spins, right? And just kind of almost instinctually just kind of spins and twirls around you and pushes you. And he pushes you with a force that's a little bit harder than you would expect. He's like, don't touch me, kid.
I get up in his face and I'm like, you broke the fucking machine.
Yeah, so you'll get another one. It'll be fine. And he moves past you.
I'm not letting him pass me. You don't go breaking things, man.
Well, as you try to stop him again, he just sort of twirls and spins around you. It's almost like he's slippery. He's too easily, too easy to like in his, like, he's almost like pirouetting, as he just kind of twirls around you. You reach out an arm for him and he just kind of twirls around you again, and he's still heading for the door.
As he is twirling around me, I am going to roll change the game. And I'm going to roll beat them at everything to go all the way, taking off Father's Arcade and Arcade Repair. I'm going to roll Inhuman Strength with this, as well as Parry, Ultimate Fighter, and beat them at everything and go all the way. So I'm currently at 4. Oh shit, okay. Yeah, 4. And I'm gonna change the game. And all I want to do with change the game is he's trying to pirouette like around me, but like I'm going to pirouette him all the way back to where he was standing before.
What is this, a dance?
Yeah.
Kind of. Just say, hold it,
Battle,
Barishnikov.
go.
You start playing DDR.
Let's see if this works out.
I actually want to see Johnny play DDR.
Am I still at a -2?
You're only at a -1 because secret moves is no longer applies, but the arcade hero one does apply.
Okay. Change the game. Here we go. 14.
Where are those terrible rolls that I've been needing right now? God damn it. Okay, so describe what you do.
So I imagine he's like trying to strong arm his way through this, and like being graceful, but also using his strength at the same time. No,
he's not trying to strong arm at all. In fact, he's trying to be slippery, just kind of move around you. And when you grab him, you kind of spin him back. You're strong arming him back.
Yeah. And it's not so much strong arming. I want the success to be where he's doing like this weird pirouette thing, and like I'm stepping in ways and like being very like mountainous and not like pushing him, but like so much where he's like becoming an obstacle in the way that he's trying to get around, and keeps doing that until he's back to the position where he was before, and he's like got his arms crossed staring at him to where he was at that point before. And he's like, dude.
Yeah? I'm trying to get out of here. What the hell's your problem?
Yeah, broke the fucking machine.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's not my thing to deal with now. Can you let me go? I'd like to get out of here. I've got some other things I need to do before the competition tomorrow.
Well, you broke the machine you're here for the competition for, aren't you?
That's not the machine that I'm competing on tomorrow. You can repair it by then. You'll fix it, when it's time.
And then I would grab him by grab him by the guff and kind of and this is what I want to do. I want to spend probably one of the extra juice that I have of grabbed and have him as a story tag. And grab him up by the face and like look him dead in the eye, and it's like, I don't know what it is about you, but I fucking hate you to my core. Get the fuck out. And he throws him towards the door.
And so as you throw him towards the door with the momentum, he surprises you with something. He actually grabs onto you spins around back, and you feel his arm kind of grab you into a chokehold. And his skin is really weird. It's kind of cold and clammy. And he's like, "This ain't over, kid." And that's where we're going to end it.
As the blue collar district's destroyed by a fight between a giant and
How does a kraken move across the dry land? I'm very curious about this.
With style and grace.
pop locking, breakdancing, ballet. all
This
combined
kid's-
in one fluid form.
Okay.
This kid's got
So we-
cold skin. He's clammy, pale, dark hair. Only wears black. He's me in high school.
Did you wear guy liner just like everybody else in high school?
I'm not as bad as Mike, no.
Oh, okay. So want to say one quick thing that when Morrigan invited Herbert back to her place, the first thought that went through my head was, I wonder if she's got a Roomba to be able to clean up all the excess skin, easily, around the entire place. Because I'm just kind of wondering, how would she deal with it otherwise?
HEPA filter.
Yeah, but you still have scales that are falling everywhere, right?
I mean, technically, she could just reverse time to when he wasn't there, but
That is the most extra use of your power that I can imagine. That is
I don't feel like
incredible.
cleaning. I'm kidding. I wouldn't
You
do
have
that.
the power to turn back time and you use it to clean things. Oh my god.
No, I'm behind
that's
this
like some Mary
100%.
Poppins shit, right? Like,
Like, if I break something, I'll be like, no worries. Back. Done. No problem. And some asshole that comes in that was actually going to break it just a second ago, I'll be like, don't go near that vase. And they'll look at me like I'm crazy, and I'll be like, and then they break it. I'm like, told you so.
My favorite character in the Matrix. I love her so much.
Which character? What?
The Oracle.
Oh, all right.
The original.
I love, yeah, same.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. Awesome. This is fun. I'm glad that we're back. I missed you guys.
Me too.
Let's go ahead and go around and do outros. I know Loke wanted to get to bed early, so let's go ahead and be quick, starting with Morrigan.
Hi, guys. I played Morrigan. She's trying real hard to be real nice. We'll see how long that lasts. I'm Metamancer. You guys can find me playing tabletop roleplay on this channel, as well as my own and several others. I also happened to GM a City of Mist campaign earlier in the day on Thursdays, so if you ever want to see me fuck with my players, that's a great place to go. I killed somebody's sister today. It was great. Anyway, I'm
mean-
evil all the time. All the time.
Yeah, you just wait. You just wait. The butcher's coming for
Kill
you.
Derek, I told you. I quit the game. Already
just
said
wait.
it. Morgan would sacrifice herself first before she let Derek die. I'm just putting that out there. Anyway,
Unless it's
yeah.
too late.
That's not my plan.
It's never too late when Morgan can reverse time.
Unless you can't
That's not
reverse
my
time.
plan. It's not my plan.
I mean, she would legit sacrifice this entire party to save Derek. I just want to put that out there.
It's not my plan.
I know. I am telling everybody where they stand in Morgan's eyes.
Right.
It's not
we
Morgan's
get it.
plan.
Okay.
That, like, you saying you would sacrifice the entire party is not in any way surprising. You saying you would sacrifice the entire party to save Derek, like, you would sacrifice the entire party for like $1.
I would not. That's
No.
not valuable enough to her.
You're right. But like for like a juicy piece of information.
She could get the information in many other ways. I mean, like, if it was like a life and death situation, it would be a no-brainer for her. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
There would be no hesitation. She'd be like, I'll kill him myself if that helps. You know, that kind of thing. So,
We love Morgan.
me too. Okay, that's it. That's me.
Excellent. All right. Trendane.
That would be me. And I was playing Herbert Harding, the sculptor person who, no matter how hot it is always covered in a trench coat and thing. And he absolutely loves to play loud music while he works on stuff. And the reason he was huffing and panting when Morgan and Johnny showed up the first time is he was dancing. He was dancing around the the living room and the kitchen.
It's cute.
That's why he was out of breath. But he only dances when people can't see him. He does not like dancing in public. He loves to dance, but he's just terribly embarrassed about people seeing him. And yeah, that would be him. And had a lot of fun tonight. A lot of fun. And I can hardly wait to see Johnny rip that kid's fucking spine out and beat him to death with it. I just
Will he?
Isn't that
Will
more
he?
Morgan style?
I think this is going to escalate into a very bad situation here.
Wait, are you implying that the Kraken has a spine? He's an invertebrate, Tren.
He's got at least one bone. The beak, you know.
Oh, yes, that's true.
That's not where my brain went. I'm gonna stop now.
Yeah. Okay. So, McLoken.
Hello. My name is McLoken. I am a tabletop broadcaster here, and I spread my love to many platforms. As I mentioned earlier, I have a mutual ending with Twitch on my contract. I've been partnered for 2 years, and I'm ending it because I'm a crazy man. Starting July 11th, I will be streaming my show Chosen on Mixer, and doing that kind of crazy stuff. So if you guys, I will announce what the channel name's going to be in the near future. I'm not announcing it yet. But yeah, that is my current plans. If you guys ever, I'm still going to be around Twitch. If you guys ever want to find me, I'm going to be on this lovely show. And I got a show I'm on Friday where I play Judge Dredd in Warhammer 40k, basically. And then I got Sunday show where I am playing now a crazy wizard who apparently religious people hate him, but he's great. And then Tuesday, I'm playing a gnome ranger with a very fucking sick, dark, sadistic past. And yep, that's me. Follow me on my Twitter at McLoken. I will announce where I'm going to be. I usually retweet what shows we're going to be on and all that kind of stuff. And you can tweet at me and I respond because I like talking to people.
That's true. You do love talking. And so Johnny, the man, not the character, tell us you.
Is there a difference?
Yes, there are very many differences between you and the character Johnny.
I don't know. I think their voices are very similar.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
my God.
What? Johnny got a girlfriend.
Yes, he did. So,
Gross. Listen, this is
that's exactly what Malcolm would say.
Anyways, it was awesome tonight. Interesting turn of events. I didn't expect some things, and I like that. I expected other things, and yeah, it was good times.
What did you
yeah,
not expect?
I actually had a different ending in mind for the encounter with Timothy McCracken, and it was going to be a lot of.
And oh, lovely cup of tea, sir. Ooh.
No, you just find out that his middle name's Philip. That's all.
Timothy Philip McCracken here.
Esquire.
Does it end with someone eating calamari?
Gross. No, I had expected that ending actually would go a little bit differently. I was hoping for better roll or better failures on your part instead of you succeeding, and I had a different plan. That has transitioned. That was kind of fun, though, because it forced me to introduce a different element into the game. And then there was the interaction between Gio and Benny, where I was hoping that he would owe them a favor, but that's because I have a different plot line I'd like to introduce before that, before too long. But anyways, so you can find me, VideoStoreCowboy, everywhere except on Twitter, where it's VidStoreCowboy because of a stupid 15 character limit. I will be over on Mike's channel, on my gaming's channel, on Saturday for the 12-hour stream, where we'll be doing another City of Mist one-shot. And then yeah, there's our normal weekly schedule, and we'll be off next week on Wednesday on Unmade's channel specifically for 4th of July. So otherwise, yeah, that's me. Thanks.
Excellent. Thank you, Johnny, for another fantastic episode. As for me, I'm Speedy. This is my channel. You can find me here playing games sometimes. I don't really have a fixed schedule right now because of work and stuff. You can usually catch me playing some other games, and you can catch me here playing 6 and 20 every Thursday. Other than that, I don't have any real announcements or anything, so I am going to send us off on a raid, however. Online right now, there is a streamer by the name of Arctics. He's a good dude. He's actually been streaming since like the Justin TV days and only just got partnered like a couple weeks ago. So super happy for him. Want to show him some love and congratulate him and stuff. So we're gonna go over to him and send him a raid. Go ahead, raid command in chat. Copy paste that stuff. Go over there, send him some love. But that is all that we have for you tonight. Thank you so much for coming out and watching, for hanging out, and continuing to support the show, even though we don't show up sometimes. We'll be back next week, though, and I will see you all next time, as always, no matter what happens. Don't forget to take it slow. Bye.
Bless you.